All right, that's 1 pound of pure pumpkin in our greased 9x13. We're just gonna lay that flat right on there. And I did grease this. There's a little bit left in there that we're gonna make sure to get out because we wanna make sure we have a full pound of pumpkin. Next, I'm coming in with 1 can of sweetened condensed milk, and we're going to add that whole can on top of our pumpkin. I absolutely love this combination. It's so easy and so delicious. So make sure to get that whole can of sweetened condensed milk with our whole can of pumpkin. All right, that looks beautiful. Now to thicken this up and make sure it comes together, we're adding 4 eggs. And then last but certainly not least, we have our pumpkin pie spice. And we're just gonna measure this with our heart because that pumpkin is just pumpkin. There's no spices in there, so we need to make sure we add a little bit of spice to this. That looks absolutely perfect. We're gonna bring in our whisk and we're gonna whisk this all together in our 9x13. I know this isn't everyone's favorite way, but this is how I do things, and I understand that not everyone likes to do it the same way I do. You can grab a bowl and use that if you like, but we're gonna just make sure everything gets whisked together perfectly for this easy fall treat. I am so excited for fall treats, especially anything pumpkin, because pumpkin is so delicious and so iconic. So let's make sure we get this well mixed. All right, that's what it should look like. Ooh, just the perfect creamy orange. All right, and you know what's better than pumpkin? Pumpkin cheesecake. So we have our no-bake cheesecake. You guys know this is my favorite. We're gonna grab our ice cream scoop and we're gonna add a few scoops of that cheesecake right into our pumpkin mixture for this delicious dessert. This is so great for a potluck, so great, you know, if you want to start prepping for Thanksgiving, you can test this out and you will want to eat the whole thing. It's so yummy, so easy, and it is one of my favorites. So let's make sure we're going to use about 3/4 of our tub. Let's bring back our spatula and kind of just blend those cheesecake clumps into our pumpkin. We kind of want to make a marbling. Just do the best you can. It doesn't need to be perfect because it will kind of spread as it bakes. And yes, you can bake the no-bake cheesecake even though it says no bake. You can also make a homemade cheesecake, you know, with the eggs and the cream cheese if that's what you prefer. But I like things to be super easy so that anyone can recreate my desserts. That is the beauty of all of my recipes. And I think that looks pretty good. Now I'm gonna come in with 1 box of our spice cake mix. Spice cake mix just reminds me of fall, so I love to use it for anything pumpkin. I love to use it for anything apple. I just think it complements those 2 flavors so perfectly. And we are just dusting our cake mix right on top of our pumpkin cheesecake mixture. We're kind of making a dump cake, but it's gonna be the most delicious dump cake you've ever had. So let's get all of that spice cake mix right on there.
It smells like a gingerbread cookie.
Oh my god, it tastes like a gingerbread cookie, honestly, and it goes so great with fall flavors and winter flavors because of that.
Yum.
All right, and let's go ahead and just kind of smooth these out. My hands are clean, so you do not have to worry about that. But we just want a flat surface with our cake mix covering up all of that pumpkin cheesecake mixture. Oh yeah, this looks so good. It smells good. I cannot wait to dig into this. It is gonna be the best thing you've ever eaten. Perfect. All right, last ingredient we're gonna use is some butter. And I'm using salted butter, but you can use unsalted butter. And we have these pats of butter that we are just gonna line up right on top of our cake mix. Like I said, this is like a dump cake, so we wanna just make sure we cover up that cake mix with our butter. Oh my goodness, cannot wait to put this in the oven. This is gonna create kind of almost like a cobbler-like texture on top. It's gonna be crunchy, it's gonna be tasty, and it's gonna have that soft pumpkin bottom. It is gonna be better than pumpkin pie. So let's quickly get our butter on there. All right, we used about 1.5 sticks of butter to cover up this whole surface. Now this is ready for the oven. My oven is set to 375 and this is gonna bake for 45 minutes. All right, I did let this cool for about 20 minutes, but it looks incredible. All right, I'm gonna come in with my bowl and a spoon because that is the way we're doing this one. And we're gonna cut our perfect, oh, look at that cheesecake all gooey and warmed up and delicious. Oh my, that looks incredible. Let's go ahead and put it right in our bowl. This smells so good. I'm gonna top it off with some Ready Whip because what is pumpkin without a little whipped cream? You could do ice cream if that's what you like. I'm so excited to try this. I did let it cool, so I should be good to go to try it. I still see some steam though.
Is it good?
Oh my goodness. I am making this every weekend until Thanksgiving. It's so good. next to our shrimp, we're gonna add 1 Cajun sausage that I cut up into coins. I have some pre-cooked red potatoes that are gonna go right next to our sausage. Let's come in with some green bell pepper that I diced. This is a super easy 1-pan dinner. I have 1 onion that I diced. This is just a white onion. You can use white or yellow. Beautiful. Last but certainly not least, we're gonna add some corn, and I'm just gonna put that right next to our shrimp and sausage. Beautiful, and this is the white and yellow corn. I'm gonna bring in 2 sticks of melted butter, and we're gonna just put this right to the side. We're gonna add some Cajun seasoning into our butter because we are doing a Cajun style kind of seafood boil-esque dinner, but we're gonna add our own special twist. I'm gonna add some minced garlic to our butter. You can use fresh garlic, but I prefer the garlic because it's just so convenient. Mincing your own garlic is not an easy job, you guys. And last but certainly not least, we're gonna add some chopped parsley to this. It's just gonna add some great color and some flavor, and I just think it goes beautiful with Cajun food. All right, that looks like it's enough. We have our spoon in here so that we can just mix that all together, make sure our garlic, our Cajun seasoning, and our parsley get well blended. Ooh, that looks beautiful. Now we're not gonna use all of this right now in this moment, but we are gonna pour a majority of our butter on top of our delicious ingredients. We have the shrimp, the sausage, the potatoes, the green peppers, the onions, and that corn. All right, remember, we wanna make sure we save just a little bit of enough for later. Now it's time to bring in our big spoon and give this a good mix so that everything gets those delicious Cajun flavors. Now I used raw, peeled shrimp with no tail. That's super important for this recipe. But if you don't like shrimp, you can replace this with a cooked chicken. This won't be in the oven long enough to cook the chicken. So if you do replace it with chicken, make sure that you cook it before you put it in here. But this is gonna be so yummy, so delicious. I absolutely love making this when I'm craving something Cajun, and I just want it to be easy and delicious. All right, I think that looks like it's well mixed together. And you can cut up those potatoes. I probably should have too, but I think it's gonna be all fine once we get this serving. Beautiful. All right, I have a puff pastry right here that we're gonna roll out super quick. This is on top of our delicious seafood boil, just like so. Peel back that parchment paper. Oh yeah, and then just make sure this gets nice and tucked in there. We wanna kind of bake like a seafood boil pot pie. I know that sounds crazy, but trust me, it is so worth it. It's so yummy, and you get delicious puff pastry with all of those yummy seafood boil flavors. We're gonna bring in a fork, and we're gonna poke some holes into our puff pastry so that those yummy ingredients down there can get some air. Perfect. And like I said, we saved up that little bit of butter, and this is gonna be used to brush our puff pastry. Yeah, Cajun butter brushed on our puff pastry. It does not get any better than this. I love making this dinner because it is so easy, and it just reminds me of New Orleans, which is one of my favorite places in the whole world. And this is my take on a fun and exciting New Orleans inspired dinner. I think that if you guys give this a try, you will absolutely become obsessed, and you will never do seafood boil the same. So let's quickly get this nice and covered. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. That butter smells good, so I know that everything else is gonna be incredible. All right. And just as an FYI, make sure to wash and defrost your shrimp. Beautiful. All right, my oven is set to 350, and this is gonna be in there for 25 to 30 minutes. Oh my, this looks so flaky, so buttery, so delicious. It's exactly what we wanted. I'm gonna cut through this just to make sure we cut through our puff pastry. Oh, look at that juicy butter down there. Just what we want for our seafood boil. All right, I have a spatula to get under. Oh my goodness. Oh, this looks so good. That shrimp is perfectly cooked. Oh my goodness. I cannot wait to give this a try. And you can even grab a spoon and add some more butter to your shrimp boil if that's what you want. But I'm gonna get some of that puff pastry. Puff pastry, sausage, shrimp. The perfect bite. That is so good. Oh my goodness. You guys have to try this. It's perfect. Okay, so that was 5 yellow onions that I cut up into rings right into my 13 by 9 Pyrex dish. We're just making sure we have kind of a flat surface in our pan. We're instantly gonna come in with some garlic powder. You can use fresh garlic if that's what you prefer, or garlic salt, but I prefer garlic powder, and we are gonna season this generously. Beautiful. Then the main star of the show, we have our Corelle seasoning, and make sure to not put too much because it might make you sneeze. It is intense, but it is delicious. Okay, just get the same amount of garlic powder to Corelle ratio. Perfect. And I'm not just gonna use any old butter. I have my garlic and herb butter that I sliced up, and we are gonna use our little slices. This butter is extra soft, so just keep that in mind if you end up using this. But regular butter also works for this recipe, so use whatever you like.
This butter looks expansive.
Yeah, and we're using this whole stick. Now we're coming in with our cheeses. I have some mozzarella cheese here. Now this recipe came from Tennessee and I just had to try it. It is a side dish that, you know, is just gonna blow your minds because it's so easy and so delicious. We're using that whole bag of our Tillamook mozzarella. Then we gotta do some sharp cheddar. That's a lot of onions, so we gotta add a lot of cheese. And we are gonna just sprinkle the whole bag of our Tillamook sharp cheddar right on top with that mozzarella. Make sure to get all of our onions coated in our cheese. This is gonna be really good, you guys. We're almost done. We have the butter, the onions, the seasoning. This is gonna be delicious. Last but not least, I'm using some freeze-dried oregano. You can use fresh if you'd like, but I am oregano enough to get fresh without it going bad. So we are just sticking with the freeze-dried and doing a light sprinkle on top of the entire dish, just like so. And that is it, you guys. Let's go ahead and take a look at that bottom of our dish. See all those delicious onions. That butter is just gonna melt and caramelize them. This is gonna be so good. My oven is set to 350 and we're gonna bake it for 45 minutes. Oh my. Not only does this look amazing, it smells incredible, you guys.
Whoa.
Okay, it is time to give our onion side dish a try. Obviously, this is for the onion lovers only, so if you don't like onions, you don't need to comment. I don't need to know, because I love onions. Oh, so good with like a steak, a pot roast. I mean, whatever you want to make with this, it's gonna be incredible.
Is it good?
That is so good, you guys. You gotta try it.